What's up, everyone? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Food with Friday. So in this episode of Food with Friday, we're gonna go into the seafood realm. Oh yeah, we're going into the seafood realm, one of my favorite realms to go into. So what we're gonna do is make Friday Awesome's SS cakes. You ask me, what is that? SS? That's salmon and shrimp cakes, our seafood cakes that I love to make. They're so good, so delicious, and trust me, like everything else here, really easy to make, really easy to do, something you can do at home. So we're gonna show you how to do those today, so you guys get ready to have some seafood surprise, some seafood fire, some seafood yeah, pretty much. You heard? This is Food with Friday. We'll be right back with the ingredients. All right, now for the ingredients. So what we have here for this SS cake, shrimp and salmon cake, we have, of course, the stars of the show. We have our shrimp and we have our salmon. And along with that, what we have here is a 3/4 cup of mayo, a cup of yellow and orange bell pepper. We have a 1/2 cup of shallot. We have a whole lemon we're gonna use, lemon. We're gonna use the juice of a whole lemon. We also have roughly 2 tablespoons of chive, not green onion, but chive. And then we also have 2 tablespoons of Old Bay. And then what we have off to the left is 2.5 cups of panko breadcrumbs. So those are Japanese style breadcrumbs. I like to use those because they're a little bit lighter, a little bit, fluffier, but they still got to pack a little crisp and still help give you some, some meat and some whole to this cake. So that's what we're going to use here today. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go if you're ready to go. So let's go. Let's get ready to put this all together. It's Food with Friday. We'll be right back. You heard? All right, now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sweat down our vegetables. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and turn on our heat to medium high. And we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil. Just go ahead and get a little olive oil in there. And you're not gonna be crazy with it, but just enough to kind of coat the pan. All right. Yeah, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna, sweat these vegetables. What we wanna do is get them a little translucent a little bit. Let, some of the outsides break down just a little bit before we mix it together with all of our other ingredients. And this is just good so that, later down the road when we're cooking, it helps with the cooking process and, it's just something to do. And of course, it brings more flavor. Who doesn't like more flavor? I like more flavor. So let's go ahead and start with the shallot. I'm going to get those in here. All that shallot in there. Need all that. Need all that flavor. Okay. That's going. That's starting to get going. I can hear the sizzle. Also, we're going to go ahead and throw in these bell peppers. All right. And like I said, we just want to let this cook. I mean, we're literally gonna have these in here for less than 3 minutes. But this is the first step of the process. Also, of course, if you're really into garlic, you really like garlic, you guys could also add some garlic to this, and that'd probably give it a little, a little bit of a jump. But today I decided, when I first had made this recipe, I'd use no garlic. I kind of liked it. The time I used garlic, it wasn't bad, but I kind of liked it better this way. So, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and just let that sweat down a little bit. And what we are gonna do, though, of course, is add just a little bit of salt and pepper. Flavor on every step. Flavor on every step. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Okay. All right. See, those are going really fast. Like I said, we're not trying to completely saute it all the way down. We're starting to get dark. Just want to sweat it so it gets a little translucent. Okay. Boom. Don't. As that goes, starting to cook down. It's that fire for show around. They're asking like, who's this Midwest guy know how to make anything with seafood? Well, I've kind of always been like a seafood junkie, even when I was a little kid. Like I was always wanting to get scramps and stuff like that. You know, my parents always thought it was weird. I'd always get scallops. You know, they'd only get the fried ones. I would try it all different ways possible. Just always have been that way. All right, now these are almost where I want. You can see where the shallot's starting to get a little clear. You can see the yellow and the orange peppers are starting to get a little clear on the edges. That's pretty much exactly right where we want it. So what we're going to do there now is we're going to go ahead and transfer those into a bowl and just let them rest. Okay. In this same skillet, what I want to do now, which this is going to sound interesting to a lot of people because I've seen people do this a couple different ways. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit to medium. What I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our salmon in here just for a second. We're just going to let this cook just a little bit. Now, the reason why I do this is the salmon's going to, when we make the patties and we mix it all together, the shrimp is going to cook really fast and the salmon might take longer. So if I don't put just a little bit of a sear on this salmon, what's going to happen is it's going to take longer to cook than the shrimp, and then you get rubbery shrimp inside of your cake. Okay? So we're just going to put a little heat on this, not a ton, just a little. We got, once again, let's go ahead and we're not going to go ahead and flavor on this one because we're going to get a big wallop of it here shortly with this Old Bay. Okay. So we just want to get it just a little bit. Just a little bit of a brown. I mean, just not even a brown, just really just a little touch on the outsides. And you don't have to do it all, but you want to get, a good amount of it if you can. Okay? Literally took a minute and a half. All right? And then that's it. We're putting this back in our bowl where that came from. All right? Okay? So what we're going to do though, we're going to be transferring over to going over to our food processor. We're going to go ahead and put this away, chill for a second. It's FlavorUp Friday. We'll be right back. All right, so now we're over here to our food processor. Now what we're going to do is with our shrimp and our salmon, we're going to go ahead and chop and break this down just a little bit. Kind of like, if you were making salmon patties, or even when you're doing crab cakes, it's a little bit more of, it's a little bit more pulled apart. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and try to incorporate the salmon and the shrimp together. Now, this is something that you can definitely overdo, but what we're going to try to do is make sure that we don't do it. So what we're going to do first is just, we'll go ahead and put our salmon in here. Go ahead and get that in there. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our shrimp just as is. Now, these are peeled and deveined. They've been cleaned, raw shrimp. We have not cooked these first. We want it to be this way because like I said earlier, when we put this into the patties, the shrimp cooks super fast and we want to make sure this doesn't dry out. All right. So what we're going to do is now we got the shrimp in there. We're going to go ahead and turn on our food processor. That locked in here. Now all we want to do is really give this a quick pulse. We're not trying to kill it, but we want to just give it a little bit of thing. And that's literally it right there. Maybe one more. All right. See what we came. Now the shrimp's still in there. The salmon's chopped up a little bit, but the shrimp is getting chopped up. Actually, we're going to pulse it maybe 2-3 more times to get some of that shrimp down deep in there. But what we're doing is it's getting mixed together and it's chopping up that shrimp a little bit. And we're really getting kind of more of a even kind of deal going with some of this a little bit. With a little bit of chunk, you want a little bit of chunk with the shrimp because, it's shrimp. Bam, 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 bam. Right there, that's perfectly what we want. Okay? Looks kind of strange, it looks kind of crazy, but trust me, this is what you want. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this over to our bowl, and we will go ahead and get started. Be right back. All right, so now we got our bowl with our veggies that we sauteed and that we opened up translucent, got them going right. We have that bowl right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our salmon and our shrimp to this bowl. All right, let's go ahead and get that in there. Get it all of it, all out of there. Okay. It's all out of the bowl. All right, so then what we're going to do next is we are going to add let's go ahead and add our seasoning a little bit. And we're going to add this in layers. So we're going to add a little bit now. Boom. Mix some of that in. Could mix some of these vegetables in with this. I get this kind of moved and mixed together. All them flavors kind of start to meld a little bit. Okay. There you go. You don't want to over mix it, but you want to make sure you know everything's starting to mix together a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to add our mayo. All right. Let's add a little bit more seasoning. Okay. Start blending this in a little bit. The mayo is really just there to use as a binder instead of using egg. This is going to help bind it a little bit better and not, so we have it there in the system. All right. Okay. Then let's go ahead and add our chive. And that chive's really there. It's going to give us that, it's really there for color. Also, you're going to get that kind of subtle chive flavor along with that shallot. Nice, well-rounded situation going with that. Okay. Mix that in there. Go ahead and fold it. Really folding it in. All right. The last thing we're going to do before we put the breadcrumbs in, we're going to put a juice of half a lemon. All right. Just go ahead and that's just going to bounce it out with some of that acid. All right. We're reserving the rest of the Old Bay for the end. I like to sprinkle it on the top. So if you ever were wondering why I had not used that yet. All right. So now we mix that in there. Give that a little bit of a dig, And then we start adding the breadcrumbs. So we're going to start off with 1 cup. And you might not use them all, use all this, but I always like to be safe and have the 2.5 cups just to be safe. Because you want it to be bready, but you don't want also to be filler with the breadcrumbs, but you want it to be able to bind and really stick together. So let's put the first set in like that, like yay. And you can see this is starting to kind of thicken up. The breadcrumbs are starting to do their job. Oh, we can't lose none of that. We don't want to lose none of this goodness. And you really could do this with your hands. I'm just trying to be a little bit PC with it today, I should say, or I shouldn't say PC, but just I don't feel like messing up my hands today. All right. All right. There you go. See how that's starting to get going right there, just like that? And that's starting to be a filler, okay? All right, we're actually going to use the half one. Let's see what that gets us. Because I'm going to show you what we're going to use with the other parts of it. And that's for the end. All right, or closer to the end as we patty these up. All right, now what we're going to do with this, now this is mixed together, you want to let this sit in the refrigerator Actually, we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of this one right here. There we go. We don't let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. I would suggest 45, but 30 is probably gonna be your best bet, okay? Got that mixed in, folded in. We wanna let this sit. So what we're gonna do, that's all incorporated. We're gonna go ahead and let this sit in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. And then we'll be right back to show you how we're gonna put this together and, you know, get them pattied up and ready to cook. This is FlavorUp Friday. We'll be right back. Peace. All right, so now it's been 30 minutes and we have pulled our mixture out. So what we're gonna do right off the jump is we're actually gonna go and we're gonna add some of these crumbs, this panko, to our parchment paper on this pan. All right, so what this is gonna do here is really, it's gonna help some of the one side of these cakes get, you know, a little bit more crisp on the outside, and it just gives a nice little texture, I believe, when you're making these cakes. So what we're gonna do is we have a half a cup measuring cup, and what we're gonna do is we'll fill that up with our filling, just like so. Okay, see that? Just like that. We'll fill that up. Should add just a little bit more on this one. All right, and then what we're gonna do is just drop them right there on the thing, just like that. Now with this mixture, with this container, you should be able to get this amount that we've made. You should be able to get anywhere between 8 and 14 maybe, you know, or 8 to 12 probably actually really of these for your meal, that's a good amount. 3 crab cakes seafood cakes per person is a pretty good one. SNS cakes. All right. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna do 4 for you right now. Get them in here, real simple. All right, put it down, boom. There's another one. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll do 5. So, we gotta have a taster one, right? A small taster one, maybe. I'm saving some of this obviously for later. Okay, so there's a 4th one. Boom, in there like that. Then we'll make us a small taster one because we gotta have a small taster one. All right, okay, this small taster one, all right? So now what we're gonna do is I am going to grab my nice little form mold. And this is a form mold. Never seen it before. This is a lot of cooks and chefs use this just to kind of give everything, just to, you know, form it and get a better shape with it. It also helps with cooking time. So you can get, you know, even cooking times for these. All right. So boom, put it out, get that out there. Shazam. Boom. Push that down. Nice and boom. See how that works? I suggest, you know, if you ever do anything, or even for hamburger patties, you can get larger ones and you can, you know, use it. I suggest everyone have one of these. Oh, that one kind of came out. Kind of gave us some of the liquid. Pack it down in there a little better. There we go. Boom. Boom. Pull it. Shake it. Then we'll do a little small one. We'll do a little tester one, a little tasty one. Just because. All right. And that's that. So, well, that one didn't want to stay as much. Well, yeah, it left a little bit on there. Maybe we could have used a little bit more crumbs in the mix, but I don't like to have it too thick. I really like it to be able to chill. Now, one other thing you could definitely do with these after you form them like this is put them in the fridge again, let them settle again, and then in their own true form before you cook them. All right. So we're just gonna add just a little bit more. The crumbs at the top, like I said, it's gonna just give it a little bit better texture. All right, and there you go. We're gonna go ahead and get these ready to take over to the pan and get them in the pan. This is Food with Friday. We'll be right back. All right, so let's go ahead and get these ready. What we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and put this on medium high, around 6 on here, and let that warm up. And what we're gonna do is obviously we're gonna just add a little olive oil. And you can use butter if you like. I just like to use the olive oil. It's a little bit better for me personally. All right. Get some olive oil in here. And these should take roughly anywhere between 10 to 10 minutes maybe to cook through on both, about 6 minutes to 5 minutes on each side. Okay. I'll let that go ahead and really start getting ready for you. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and grab our crab cakes and a spatula. All right. And you want to see it start to shimmer. You want to be shimmering before we go ahead and put this in the oil. If you ever want to do a guess, kind of like you do fish, you can take some of the breadcrumbs and see if it starts to fry. If it doesn't, it's not ready. If it does, it's ready. So we got another minute or two. So hopefully you guys, enjoy this recipe. Let me know, what kind of, salmon patties, crab cakes, different seafood type cakes do you make, or even, chicken cakes or something like that. Let us know down in the comments section about, what you do at home. And, maybe we'll try it here on Food with Friday. All right? Okay. All right, I think we're there. I can smell the oil. Good smell of olive oil. All right. So what we're going to do is go ahead and, yep, that's the sound I wanted. So just a little bit of sizzle. All right. So you don't want to crowd them. You want to let them have some room, and let them really have some time to cook, because you want them to really sear on both sides. And that's really what you're wanting to do with these, is let them really sear on both sides. Okay? Oh yeah, you're not gonna hear them. It's starting to crisp up, like I said. And one good thing is, like you said, you want to leave them and get them a really good sear, and really try to go ahead and give them some time. And this is something you definitely, don't necessarily need to rush. One thing we'll maybe do, once we both got them both seared on the side, is I might just show you a little, flat top kitchen trick that, a lot of cooks use in the industry. But we'll see where we're at once we get here for a minute. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and let these cook. We'll get browned up. Let's see how we got them looking right now. See, that's what we're looking for, that right there. See that? That's what we are looking for. A nice brown color. Just like that. Okay? So flip this other one. All right, and while this other side browns, we'll take a quick break. This is Food with Friday. We'll be right back. You heard? All right, so now here we are. So you need to look at these, nice and golden, just like we want them. And what we want to do, just to make sure they're cooked through. We want to go ahead and take our thermometer, and we want to make sure these are hitting around 150 in temp. And they are. All right, so that means we're done. So now what we're going to do is we want to go ahead and take these off, put them on a paper towel, let them dry out, and then go ahead and plate. This is Food for Friday. We'll be right back. All right, so now it's time to plate. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get our cakes out here, the SS cakes. They look fantastic. Look at those. Nice and crisp. Oh, and they're nicely browned. All right, so we'll go ahead and give us a couple lemon wedges on there. You know, bam, bam. Yeah, we'll go ahead and add the fifth one. Why not? And then, you know, last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add just a little bit, just a touch of Old Bay at the end here, and some garnish. One thing I did do on the side while I was chilling, I went ahead and made a little sauce. And what this is just a little, I'd call it like a slightly sweet and sour sauce. What it is some sambal, some maple syrup, some apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper, and it'll be good. It'll give it a little bit of, give you a little bit of hot, sweet thing going with these savory SS cakes. This is the SS cake for Food for Friday right here. You heard?